back to Slay the Stars in episode 49. Last time, Zem and Char made it to Morbale via a teleportation circle thanks to Erevan. Once arrived, they spoke with Toslane, the current governor of the city and sitting council member for the Empire. They told her in quick detail everything that happened over the past few weeks and asked to see headmistress Eva Ristos of Stellium Academy if she was still in the city. What they found was a highly emotional scene where Ristos had been placed under the effects of a feeble mind spell by Dalius Ashgard before he escaped north to Anenfel. Zem, Char, and Raif have spent some time investigating the information they've gathered and are now turning in for some rest at one of the inns in Morbale. That is where we are picking up today. So this night, you are going to spend at an inn. I don't have a lot of plans for it, so I want the two of you to tell me, what are your plans for this evening? Are you staying in one room? 2 rooms? What do you want to do for dinner?
Probably 2 rooms for escape reasons.
Char and Zem in one room.
Yes. Okay, Char and Zem are in one room. Raif is in the other. This checks out. Oh, okay. No, we're not doing that. Okay.
The boys in one room.
That is actually hilarious. Zem, power move. Sorry.
I'm confused. All right.
No, it's totally a power move.
Oh, no, not the fact that it's a power move. I get that. That's fine. Char, though, I thought that was... All right.
But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff here to unpack, right? And I don't want to interrupt that. You have a moment to actually deal with the things that have happened.
I think that I was originally joking about having different rooms. I thought we were all going to be in the same room. But I actually have things that I want to do. So I'm going to suggest 2 rooms.
All right.
And then I'm sweetly going to duck into one and lock the door.
All right. So, Zem tells Raif to get 2 rooms. Raif is like, yeah, all right. Gets the 2 rooms. And then whenever you get to the top of the stairs where the 2 rooms are, Zem goes into one of the rooms and locks him out. And he looks at you, Char.
I kind of look at him back.
In my room, there's 2 beds. In the other room, there's 1.
This is everything I've always
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Raif's
Maybe
like,
those share a mutual.
he's like, that's not how I thought that was going to go.
Yeah. Same.
Bunkmates?
I guess so.
All right. You hear a knock on your door, Zem. And Raif's just like, good night, I guess. I'll see you in the morning. Are you okay?
I that remains to be seen. I have a couple things that I need to do that I need to be on my own for.
I understand. Take all the space you need. If you need us, we'll be right next door.
Okay.
Also, if any, wizards show up and try to abduct you, give us a warning or something.
I will.
Just nothing else.
Are you still there?
Sorry. I'm just really distracted. I promise that I will tell you if anyone tries to abduct me.
There's like a pause that lingers just long enough that you're like, okay, maybe he left. And then he says, are you mad at me? Did I do something?
I'm going to open the door at that. No.
Okay. I understand if you need space. It's just I'm worried about you.
That's really sweet of you, and I appreciate that. I just need a little bit of space for right now.
I completely understand.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll kiss his cheek. shut the door.
He accepts it. He turns around and looks at you, Char, and says, "Bunkies."
Yeah.
All right. So, Zem, when you go into your room by yourself, what are you doing?
Why did you have to make that seem so ominous?
No, I just figure you have plans, so now I'm very curious what
I
the
do.
plans are.
I reveal that I am daily. No.
Plot twist.
And Arthur's gone.
Second
He's walking out of the room.
Same as the first. I want to consult my pendulum.
Okay.
So, Kay, your dice suck.
Here, give it.
So
Get your shit together.
is
Have
I can't remember. Did
Try
we
it.
say wisdom or
It's intelligence.
Okay, so it's an 8 total.
roll it. Roll it again. I want to see.
Oh, I rolled it once.
You get
7, 2 better.
you get 0 questions. So,
So like the thing is, I still consult the pendulum.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you ask it? What does this moment look like for Zamira?
So, with everything that's happened, I'm struggling to find focus. And I sit on the edge of the bed, which isn't exactly comfortable. And I hold up the pendulum and like I hold my hand underneath it for like balance or like readability or something. I don't know. And I say, is Delius being magically assisted by a god?
The pendulum just remains suspended in place. In the past, when you've gotten weird mixed messages or something, there's been like a chaotic movement to it, circles or like back and forth and diagonally and all over the place, but it's completely straight.
Does it feel any different in my hands?
Roll me a perception check. Actually, make it Arcana because you're better at that, and this could be an Arcana check.
16.
The pendulum itself doesn't feel different. It still has that cool stone feel. It looks the same. Nothing about it physically seems to change. But in this moment where you're holding it, you almost feel a pressure like pulling down on it.
I am gonna change gears a little bit. Can I try to so I'm gonna, instead of holding the end of the pendulum, I'm just gonna like let it rest in my hand where I was like holding it underneath, and then pick it up and look, and like I haven't really examined this in a while. Like I've been using it as a tool, but I haven't looked at it. Does it look dirty? Does it look like it needs maintenance? Does it have scratches in it? Is anything different about the symbols at all?
Based on your 16, nothing about the pendulum seems to have changed in its appearance.
Okay. I'm going to get out the tarot deck.
Okay.
And I'm going to do kind of the same thing. Like I'm not so first I want to look at it. I want to look at like all the different cards. Are there any new faces that I recognize? Did any old ones change from before?
All right.
This is going to hurt.
We're doing this.
What's happening?
I'm getting my
So-
feelings hurt.
Again?
Probably twice.
So you pull out the tarot deck. You don't notice any new cards.
Okay.
However, you do notice that there is now a second black card in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that card, through process of elimination, is the Fool, Dell's card.
I don't remember what was the other one that went all black.
The World card.
That's what I thought.
And I would like for you to roll an investigation check.
15.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm just like everything's rolling under. Not loving it. My modifier is just decent.
Gotcha.
You notice something interesting about the death card. It's that there is a shadowy presence on the card that you didn't notice before. Whether it's because it just didn't catch your attention or because it's been highlighted more, it gives you this wispy darkness, but there's also a face there.
Is it like an androgynous face, or
No, it definitely has more of a masculine feel to it.
is it one that I recognize?
What do you mean? Oh, the face itself?
Yeah.
No.
I want to shift through or shuffle through all the cards, and I want to pull out the tower.
I was hoping you were going to do that. So you pull out the tower card. The card that used to depict the falling tower in the background with the white cloaked man in front. And he's still there, in his cloak, but now his face is visible.
It's
And it
Dalius.
is Dalius.
I'm gonna give him the finger.
The shadow attacks you.
I'm gonna hold it out. I'm gonna put the rest of the deck away. I'm gonna keep that out. I'm gonna lay down. Is there like a table or anything in the room?
Yeah, you have it's a very typical hotel room. You've got like a bed, you've got a little table with a chair, and there's like a little chest of drawers to put your belongings in.
Okay, so if there isn't a candle in the room, I want to take out a candle and light it.
Okay.
Be the only light in the room. I'm gonna sit in the chair with focus just on this card and basically meditate focusing just on this card. I want to get real good and familiar with the energy of this card.
Okay.
And then once I've done that for a little bit, I'm going to leave the card out and open on like the table, nightstand, whatever. But I want to continue to focus on it as I go to sleep.
Okay.
With the hope that I can gain some insight on movements, whatever he might be doing. I don't have the ability to direct a dream like that. But I am hoping that I can luck myself into it. But before, nope, I'm going with it. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So before we get into what happens there, Char, what are you doing tonight?
He's probably just gonna fiddle around and talk with Raif, with Raif. Just kind of a look. I don't want this to come off as rude.
Okay.
What are you? I've seen them in combat before, and for you, it seemed like a formality.
Well, I was a little tired. It would have been better for me if I had had any sort of rest.
Right. I've seen what they can do firsthand.
They're very talented, yeah.
How did you do that? You've said multiple times that you don't have magic.
I don't.
And you use magical tools.
It's different. What I do isn't magic in the way that what you or Zamira does is magic.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, maybe it's a little similar now that Reg told me that the two of you are celestial blooded.
Yeah.
Well,
Wasn't expecting that.
then you understand a little about having some abilities that are innate, a part of you.
Well, to figure them out, yeah.
Well, that's sort of how it is for me, although I wasn't born with it, not the first time.
The first time?
This is a very complicated discussion, and I feel like Zamira should be a part of it.
That's fair.
What is important to know is that I don't mean either of you any harm, and I don't know if you're ready to actually understand.
Char just kind of like leans back on the bed, just
You seem a little stressed, Charlemagne.
it's been a stressful couple days.
Do you want to talk about it?
I um yeah, I guess Iston betrayed the crown. But and you also had some trouble getting into the city. So and Iston knew that we were celestial blooded. So that means that probably everybody knows.
Well, everybody on the wrong side, but it
Yeah.
seems they had their suspicions about you prior to that anyway.
But what doesn't make sense to me is Zem's mother's involvement in all this.
I mean, how so? Dahlia has always been incredibly self-serving.
Exactly. But she let us go. And you know her just as well as Zem does, probably at this point, dealing with her indirectly.
I know her pretty well.
If this was what she wanted all along, why did she let her go?
I suspect that there are multiple factions within Nexus, and they don't all agree on what's to be done with the two of you.
What about the hell is his name?
Ambrose?
Yeah. What the hell is his situation with all this? It's like he's never he doesn't exist, it seems like.
He might not exist. I mean, he used to exist. I've met the man once.
You've met him?
I mean, yes, it was years ago.
Was he like you?
No, oh, no. He's just a man. A powerful man.
Oh god. This isn't gonna ruin your entire operation, is it?
If we lose. But if we lose, then who cares? The world's gonna end.
They were kind.
Who?
The people in Anenfel.
Oh. Yes, the elves may be very insular, and they have their own ideas of what a society should be, but overall, it's a nice place. It's a beautiful place. It's certainly a powerful place.
Sort of kind of looks down and notices the ring. Can only you track this?
Well, I mean, there are magical ways that people can track any item they've seen before, so no, I suppose if somebody had seen your ring and knew what it was and what it looked like, they could potentially track you.
I meant more along the lines of how you track it.
Oh, um, well, I suppose my people could do it as well if they understood how it worked.
How are you holding up in all this? You ran all the way there to not stay there for very long.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. Char, I am not. Reg wasn't just my friend or my underling. He was my protege. He was going to I had great plans for him. And he was a good person.
Well, for what it's worth, you did a good job.
Yes. Well, I am not used to losing, and we lost.
So what's your plan for the next couple days?
I'm going to help you figure out where you're going and what the next move is, and from there, I'm going to do what I can to support you both. Because, yes, I enjoy your company, and yes, I want to see the two of you succeed, but also in a very selfish way, I don't want to die. And it seems to me that the two of you have something very important to contribute to making sure that doesn't happen.
The other monk,
Yes.
is he dead?
No. Perhaps if I wasn't so tired, he would be.
It's not your fault.
It is. It's my fault. I should have stopped them both. I should have stopped Istin. I should have saved Reg.
Look, we should have seen that Istin was doing something from the start, but we didn't. And all that we can do now is make sure that he has no control over that city. And we have to find Rena.
And the ship.
I have a theory about that.
What is your theory about the ship?
My theory is that they took it to the garden.
I mean, that would make sense. It's close. It's well protected.
And it's also hidden from most people.
It would make the most sense.
But the orcs, God, we haven't talked.
What about the orcs?
The orcs are trying to incite a war.
Yeah, I know. They've already reached out to me for help.
They've also approached the Ela Istinome. And I think some of them are on board. Most of them are not.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem because we can't deal with a war at the same time that we're dealing with this. And we can't deal with all of these things at the same time. The amount of chaos that seems to be happening in the world right now is more pronounced than usual.
Maybe we can use the orcs to our advantage.
What are you thinking?
I'm not that smart, I don't know. But from what I've learned before, sometimes chaotic situations can hypercorrect themselves. That's how the war was won the last time.
Yes. Well, we have a lot to figure out, and we're just 3 people. And I may hold more power than the two of you, but it's still not much. Still not much in relation to this giant task that seems to be before us.
Can you get in contact with your people?
Of course.
Back in Saltspire specifically.
Yes.
They need to find someone.
Aside from Gideon,
Yeah,
who else?
Zem's dad. I think that
He's such a fool. I don't.
fools hold secrets too.
I mean, he should not be that difficult to track down.
I think an interrogation is worth an inquiry.
That does sound delightful. I wish I was there to do it myself.
We'll try to get you home.
I will do this. Is there anything specific you want to know from him?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. He mentioned something when we talked the last time
Okay.
about this not being lucky.
I mean, it's not.
I think he was getting help from a god. Or someone of equal power. Even if it was in the past.
All right. I'll ask him.
Okay.
How far do you want me to take this, if he won't give us answers?
As far as you deem necessary. That's not my side of the business.
No, it's not. All right. Well,
I think you need to rest up. I need to stay up and focus on a couple things.
I will
Did
take
you
some
just tell
time.
an ancient vampire to go to bed?
I did. Go to bed. Have a Snickers.
I will take that under advisement and try to sleep a bit.
He's going to start doing a ritual.
Okay. What ritual are you doing?
He is casting Identify on the D20 that Dell had given him that he never got to identify yet.
I am so glad you're bringing that up because when I was getting ready for the recap, I heard that in the episode and I was like, we never addressed this.
Yeah, because you had it identified by what's the hell's his name? Eravon. And it was the Wand of Smiles, which is great. But I just forgot to do that because we had Gravity Train and Hospital and Tailors and Glasswork. It was just as a ritual, Identify.
Okay. You get that this stone is a fate stone. We'll call it that.
A fate stone?
Correct.
What does it do?
Once per day, it gives you the chance to re-roll any d20 rolled, and it can be for you or for somebody else. You have to use your reaction to use it, though.
Oh, okay. And then the next detect magic on the next thing, which is the pile of letters, like in one go, from both Reese and the correspondence between Turiel and Istin, just to make sure there's not like hidden contract bullshit anywhere in that
Perfect.
like scribe.
Yep, there is nothing magical about any of these pieces of paper.
Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of go through. I'm going to leave the Turiel stuff for now. I'm going to go through and just sit with the stuff from Reese.
Okay, yeah, I mean the stuff from Reese. There are recipes for low value poisons, basically introductory stuff to teach you how to do stuff. There's a lot of stuff also related to like the technique for how to work with certain plants, poisonous plants. There's quick drawings, scribbles of like, you're looking for a plant with a white flower, but it should have 10 petals. If it has 12 petals, it's the wrong type. Like little details like that she's quickly scribbled down for you.
God, I would have loved to have had a ranger.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's probably. I don't want to get into the stuff with Istin and Turiel tonight. I'm just going to kind of skim through it and make sure there's nothing like weird.
So, knowing what you know now, in hindsight, you can see where Istin's correspondence was looking for the holes in the security, right? Where he will say, like, I am concerned about, how many guards we're taking away from this place. Make sure you station somebody here. Which to Turiel probably sounded like, okay, the wizard's worried about XYZ, but really he was pulling people to different areas so that he knew
Where they were.
And how to make this happen.
Yeah, that's all for tonight. It's more just quick glance, and then that's going to probably take at least an hour.
Yeah, I mean, all of that together takes a while.
So I'm good for the night, I think.
Okay.
He's not letting the gravity of everything hit him yet, but it's coming.
Sure. Zem, what were you doing before I cut away?
Meditating hard on the tower card.
Yes, the tower card.
With the intent, Hold on 1 second. Can't ignore a rhyme like that. With the intent on hoping to luck my way into some sort of trance dream something, where I can get some sort of insight on Dalius.
Okay. Zem, in this moment, I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw?
Correct.
12.
Okay. Zem, you are trying very hard to focus yourself on this dream, on this card. And when sleep finally takes you, you do find yourself in this place where you're standing before this tower and it's burning and you're watching people falling to the ground around you. And you recognize some of these faces, people who you just glanced at and saw in this party, people you cared about, people like Reg. And you feel completely powerless to stop yourself from watching. You can't pull away, even though this is your dream and you're very aware that you're dreaming. And coming towards you, walking up to you, you see Dalius. And he's not saying anything yet. He's just walking towards you. What is your reaction in that moment?
So I'm dreaming.
You are.
I'm going to be sobbing and just like, how could you? How could you? Why would you do this? And very vulnerable. Why, like, what could be worth this sort of sacrifice?
He looks at you, confused. And he holds out his hands, and you see that they're just covered in blood. And he says, I don't understand why you haven't figured it out yet.
Just tell me.
Zamira. And in that moment, everything around you freezes. And you feel the whole dream, this whole moment gets colder and darker. And things start to fade around you. And you hear Adria's voice. And she says, finally. It's taken so long to reach you again, Samira.
I hear her. Do I see her?
No. The voice almost seems omnipresent.
So still crying. What is it that you want from me? What do you want?
I told you. I need your help. But I can only keep one of you.
You're talking in riddles. That makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense. You just don't want to accept it.
What is this task? What do you need my help with?
I need you to help me eliminate the keys. I've sent someone to help you. You've met her.
You offering me help to help you is weird. What exactly am I supposed to do? Exactly.
I want you to kill Charlemagne.
I'm shutting that shit down immediately. Like, whatever I need to do to get the fuck out of this dream.
Roll me another wisdom save.
Ugh. None of these dice are friendly to me yet. Yeah, that's a 7.
You can't. You can't get out.
I will cut myself to get out.
You have nothing to cut yourself with.
Like, I will use my nails.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that that's how, but I'm gonna try to do that. Like,
Okay.
I'm going to try to, like, hurt myself to get out of the...
You try, and you can't. You feel completely and utterly trapped in this moment. What are you saying?
I'm gonna start singing.
What kind of song are you singing?
Like, something that I heard Karina singing with, like, the last time we were here.
Okay. You hear Adria sort of... You asked me to be honest.
And I'm gonna sing louder.
And now you're ignoring me.
And plugging my ears.
Don't you want to come home, Mira?
And start running.
Roll me another wisdom save.
Come on!
Just thinking of...
19.
In that moment, you start to run. And you feel this connection starting to break behind you. And instead of last time where she screamed out, like upset, furious that you got away, all you hear is her echoing laughter.
Run, Zamira. It's what you do. But I'll be waiting. Next time you go to sleep.
As you wake up, and there are just scratches down your arms from where you hurt yourself.
Okay. Is there like a waste paper basket in here?
Sure.
I'm
yeah.
gonna throw up in it.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
And then when I'm done doing that, I'm going to activate the ring.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say, like, I need to not be alone. Can you come over here, please?
Char, you watch Raif, who was laying on the bed. Roll me an insight check, actually.
Actually, really well. Hold on. Insight is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, 20.
Okay. You can tell... You're pretty sure he's not actually sleeping, but he's doing a good job of faking it, so you're like, whatever. You see him just stand up. He looks over at you and he says... Yeah, he does the whole, like, vampire, like, stand up with whatever. He looks over to you and he's just like, Zamira needs me. And he just...
Shart doesn't even say anything. He's like, yeah.
He just walks out of the room. And you hear a knock on your door, Zam.
I forgot I locked it. Son of a bitch. I'll get up and let him in.
Okay. And he sees you. I picture you in this moment, like, tears, scratches, probably, like, you know how when you throw up, you get those, like, little, like splotches on your face? And you see his face just drop. And he, like, reaches out and he puts his arms around you and hugs you. And he's like, what's wrong?
I tried to see what was happening. I tried in my dreams. I should have known better. I didn't take any precautions.
Did something happen? Are you... He steps back and he puts his hands on your face and tilts it up so he's actually making eye contact with you. And he says, what happened?
Have we ever talked about Adria?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, walk over to the basket and put it outside.
Yeah. When you actually do that, he shuts the door and relocks it.
This is gonna be a long night.
Listen, who needs sleep? And he takes your hand and he walks you over and sits down on the bed with you.
I don't really know exactly who she is. But she's been chasing me in my dreams from somewhere. And she is trying to recruit me to be on this side that I don't want to be on. And it's so hard. It's so hard to fight her. She's so strong.
Stop right there. There is nobody who I've ever met who is stronger than you.
But I can't control my dreams, and I can't stop this. I can't keep everyone protected. Like, I need more power than I have to keep everyone safe.
Roll me an insight check.
14.
You don't notice anything. He squeezes your hand. I don't understand the side that she wants you to be on. Are we talking Nexus? This orb releasing this god? What? I don't understand what we're talking about.
I think that all of the things that we've been fighting and running from and trying to survive are distractions from the bigger picture. And I think that she is on her own side. And I understand that to a certain extent, but I'm not really positive. So the gods, I've had dreams where I was visited by them as well. Well, one. Was it Nix or
Nox.
Okay. Nox. And they let me know that Adria was, at least at one time, in their favor, but I don't know. I don't know. And I'm gonna tell them about every dream,
Okay.
and go through the history. I'm not intentionally leaving anything out. But just so that
Yeah,
gets
that makes sense.
that understanding.
Do you tell him what Adria asked you to do in this last dream?
No. Because I don't trust that he won't do that to protect me.
All right.
I will say that she wants to destroy the keys, but that's as far as I'm going.
Do you have any idea what these keys are?
I'm not sure.
Have you heard about them in other contexts before? Has this come up?
I'm trying to determine what I believe. What you have to understand about dreams is that it's all based in imagery and confusing double speak, and I don't know. I'm not sure. Which is so frustrating, and part of why I don't know what to do. I don't know how much of it I can trust. I don't know how much of it is them not being able to communicate because it's a dream, and them purposefully trying to be confusing to keep me in the dark. I don't know.
I wish I could help you, but this is not my area of expertise. I don't understand this connection you seem to have to this person. I don't understand how people are invading each other's dreams. That's scary, and I'm sorry that you're going through this.
Me too. And then, like, in a like awkward attempt to lighten the mood a little bit, I just feel like there's so many other better things that you can do if you're in someone else's dream.
He looks legitimately confused for a minute, and then his like very serious face sort of like cracks. Yes. There are other things that you can do in people's dreams.
And then I'm just gonna chuckle, and then I'm like, my face is gonna fall again. Like, I don't have it in me.
He puts his arm around you and kind of like pulls you into his side and hugs you and gives you a little kiss on the top of your head. It's gonna be okay. You're stronger than you think you are. You have Char, you have me, and there are plenty of other people in this world who you've met who are on your side. And we'll get through this.
Will you stay?
Zamira, Zamira, there are a lot of things we still need to talk about. I That's a loaded question. And I don't know how you mean it. I'll always be on your side. I'll always help you, but there's going to be a time, probably sooner than later, that we're going to have to be apart for a while.
I'll just close my eyes and nod. Yeah. You're right.
But it doesn't have to last forever. And it's not right now.
Well, I don't really know what to do next.
I promise that before I have to go, the three of us are going to sit down and I'm going to tell you everything.
Just kind of like side eye, like, what do you mean? What are you not telling me?
But tonight is not the time for that conversation. You need to rest. You are beautiful, but you're also covered in vomit. And you need to get some sleep.
Just big, bad you bothered by a little vomit.
No, I find it very attractive. Most people would not, but I think you're beautiful all the time.
Just laugh and fair.
Okay.
Good answer.
Yeah, we'll get you cleaned up. We'll get some sleep. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, the next morning, you all wake up. You have breakfast together. We'll say there's like a little dining area in the lower level of the inn where you can all eat. Char, you would notice that Zem, she looks a little rough. She struggled to sleep last night. She definitely has some like broken blood vessels on her face from throwing up. What are you guys talking about? What are you doing? What are your plans?
I just
real quick, long rest.
Yes, long
Okay.
rest.
my portents are 1 in 18.
Damn.
It's good portents.
Okay. So, I don't think we can go north, but I don't think we need to go all the way back to Saltspire. So that leaves very few options of where to go.
Well, I want to do something for Headmistress Ristos, so I think she's probably going to be best looked after with your parents and Karina with Kai.
Is that where they are?
That's where we sent them. I mean, I hope that's where they are.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other safe places.
Are we going to be able to take her that far?
All we can do is try. I don't want to leave her here.
I don't either. Did they find the other people yet? Do you think any of them have access to a sending spell? And that was a general question to both Raif and Zem.
Here in Morbale, there's probably a handful of people who could cast a spell like that.
We didn't even tell Toriel goodbye.
He wasn't at the party.
He's probably with the king.
He was supposed to be at the party.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure he said he was going to be at the party.
And he wasn't in his offices either.
Yeah, I had to kick the door open.
I thought I saw him at the party, but I didn't. That's weird. That's very weird for him.
Char's gonna grab a scone.
I really thought Char was going to be like, I need to figure this out. And he's like, I grab a scone.
And he's gonna like rush out the door. Kind of like he's looking at the way everybody is acting, but he's looking to see if any elven magicians are around, specifically interacting with the locals, because he knows a couple are here.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
11.
You do not see anybody of elvish descent.
Okay, so Char's gonna jump back inside. I think Istin thought that we were staying with Toriel.
We had mentioned it.
Yeah.
You think they got him too?
Yeah.
You think he's alive?
I really hope so.
Huh.
They specifically thought you were staying with Toriel.
Yeah, but they also knew that we were going to be at that party.
Right, but they don't give a shit about me. They're going after you. The party was to grab Rena. It had nothing to do with you necessarily.
They do give a shit about you.
Char just kind of chuckles. Not the same way, Sam.
It's the other side of the same coin. It is the same way.
We need to find someone now.
Raif's like, hold on. What? Why would they have taken Rena instead of just trying to grab either you or Zamira?
Because Istin's third in line. Istin now controls Anenfel.
I mean, sure, if the elves would turn over control to him, but do you think they would?
They would if there's not a city guard.
You have Toriel's out of the way.
Because that means that there's no way to declare martial law.
Well, why would Istin need control of Anenfel? Just following this train of thought. So he takes out the king. He gets rid of the dog. But why wouldn't they just kill her? Why would they take her? They could have killed her right there, and then Istin's claim would be absolute.
I don't know, leverage, but that's the thing. If you're going to control a mass of people, you need an ideology for them to fight behind.
I think it has more to do with the orb itself.
What do you mean?
I think that they're going to use her to try to open the orb.
But it seems like they need you to open the orb.
That's not going to keep them from trying until they get what they want.
Raif's eyes open. That's interesting that you mention leverage. The two of you have grown fairly close to Rena, correct?
Yeah.
And Rena is now the rightful ruler of an entire people. So, as a bargaining chip, if they were to say, "Oh, we need these 2 people, get them to us or we'll kill your queen," they could turn an entire city against you.
They could.
Especially with Istin having a righteous cause.
But those who know Rena would know that she would never want that to happen. She would never want to be saved in lieu of the entire world being destroyed.
But I don't think the people of Anenfel or the people at large in general understand the stakes of something like this.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They barely knew that the orcs were a thing.
They don't know who the players are, but they're very well aware of the orb.
Sure, but as far as most people are concerned, the 2 of you are murderers. You're still wanted in Saltspire.
Oh, yeah. Char pulls up a hood.
I don't know what their plans are. I'm just saying that this is the initial thought that comes to my mind. It could be anything. You would think, though, that maybe they would have already sent you a message, if that was the plan, telling you turn yourselves in or we'll kill Rena. Have you gotten such a message?
No.
Then I don't know. I don't know what their game plan is. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be helpful.
No, we appreciate it. I don't want someone else to die because of us. Again.
I mean, that could also be what they're playing on, assuming that the 2 of you will just show up and try to rescue her.
Okay. Istin was ahead of...
What if it's not us that rescues her?
It's Istin.
What?
What if he can bring her back, technically, under the guise of defending her? Everybody at that party's pretty much dead.
Not everyone. Plenty got out. Plenty saw what they saw. That's really hard to keep a lid on.
Yes, Istin was very braggadocious about it in that moment. It was obvious he was the one who cast the spell.
There were a lot of people at that party. And we already know that
Which one?
my school mentor,
Erevan?
tutor. Yeah, thank you. Holy crap. We already know he survived. I mean, I know he left early, but we told him what happened, didn't we? We told him what happened.
I want to say yes.
I don't feel like he would have just let me take his fucking bag of drugs.
I'm going to revisit that. Okay. So then who would rescue her?
I'm going to reach into my bag and I'm going to pull out 2 journals. And I'm going to reach back in and pull out a very special pen. If there's an army, we could ask.
Raif's like, I don't understand.
I'm sure it's going to take another scone.
If you were any other person, it would be swig of scotch.
Char drinks, though. It's just not at breakfast.
Yeah.
He's working with what he's got, okay?
These books, journals, use blood to contact the commander of the orc.
I don't want to know how you got these.
We took out 2 of their operatives. Actually.
We did one.
One, and then the other one was from a fire creature thing.
Okay, but why are you killing orc operatives?
Well, in fairness, the first one was self-defense.
All right, you know what? Doesn't matter. Okay, so do they know you have these books?
Yeah.
The orcs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they know who you are?
No.
All right, so that's good. How are you going to convince them to save the elvish
I haven't
princess.
thought that far yet. I was thinking that people you rescue sometimes feel like they're indebted to you. And I already know that they have contacted the elves for help in their whatever you want to call this. I don't have the time or energy to get into that with them, but this would position them well. I make no promises. I just give them the opportunity.
It's an interesting thought. Could work. But sending an orcish army as far south as at least the Garden, or, God forbid, Saltspire, would be a pretty big move.
It wouldn't need to be the entire army, though. It would just need to be...
Small group of operatives.
Which they might already have one moving south anyway.
Do you remember when I said I wasn't smart?
It's an idea. It's an idea. The problem is where they've taken Rena. If Char is correct, and they took her to the Garden, I don't know how many monks are still left there, but she could be incredibly well guarded.
She could be, but we're assuming that every person at the Garden is on that side. There could be people who are just trying to survive.
And you know who would know that? Is Kai. He screams from off in the distance.
I think we need to operate from a place of assuming that everyone at the Garden is not on our side.
I think the majority isn't, but I have hope.
I understand, but I think in this place, hope is misguided.
She gives a non-committal.
Raif doesn't really understand how that comment probably hurts you, Char, just for your information, because he does not understand your backstory.
So, sending Toslane, Kai. That's the game plan.
All right, so we will go to Toslane, find someone who can cast Sending, and then we're taking Miss Ristos to this person named Kai. That is the plan. And then from there, we can get hopefully some intel on the Garden to figure out if that's where they are and make decisions from there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's the plan. So, the three of you finish your breakfast. Everybody's sort of in a low mood. You do notice that Raif, every once in a while, he's clearly conversing with people in his head.
It must be really weird to see, like, just the laser focus and then...
Yeah, and just like the drumming of the fingers on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, he says to you, Char, interesting note. Gideon is missing. But it's not, I feel like Char's face immediately falls and he's like, oh God, there wasn't a struggle. The forge is shut down. It looks like he left.
What would he leave that place for?
Because I asked him to. He might have got my letter.
You sent him a letter?
Yeah.
Where did you ask him to go?
I didn't ask him to go anywhere. I told him what happened.
With the garden?
I forget what it said exactly, but
Yeah,
it was
you basically told him that.
whenever we found out that he was the previous Grand Keeper.
Would he go there to help them
I don't know.
by himself?
I don't think so. I'll have to find my notes because I don't remember what exactly I put in that letter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was more. I think it was more of a keep yourself safe situation.
Yeah.
Something tells me we'll be running into him again, and he's kind of like,
he's behind you.
"What the fuck?"
You travel so fast. Something tells me that it's time to burn the garden down.
Just as a whole, with fire, with a bomb.
Not with fire.
Bombs don't exist.
Bombs don't exist in this world.
So you can't do that. No, I mean like the structure. Like things need to change.
Well, then, let's change him.
Let's go be a catalyst.
It's what you're good at.
True. 'Tis true.
Burn it to the fucking ground.
All right. So, with that interesting note, the three of you leave breakfast, head to Taz Lane's office, and you find her there, working.
Oh, okay.
Dead.
The way that you said that, I'm like, you.
I see. Again, I wish that we were streaming so people could have seen your reaction when I said Gideon wasn't there.
It's the Travis and Matt Mercer like make a perception check, like fucking Mercer. It was like because it's the way you said that. You're like, you see her. Hitch step.
Nope. She's working at her desk. She's writing something down. You guys are allowed directly access into her office. It's fine. She looks up and she's like, "Oh, how'd you sleep? You look
Worse if possible.
worse. Yeah, you look like none of you really slept. Oh, I mean, Char, you're okay."
He did not. He literally slept in the corner with a katana.
Yeah.
I could sleep for a week.
I think you need it, dear. What do you need from me? What can I do for you?
We need to send a message. If you have,
I can make that happen. Who's it to and what is it?
we want to see if someone's alive first.
Who?
Torio.
She thinks for a moment.
The captain of the guard.
Yes, in Anenfel. Okay, we can do that. What if he is alive? What message would you like for me to send?
What should it say?
I think we need to be careful about what we say. Well, I mean, we need to know if he's safe. You don't think he was part of it, do you?
Char? No. Arthur? Smidget in the back of his head. Yes. So.
I just love. I'm sorry. There was not guilt on my face. That was just like, this is delicious.
I know. I was studying you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's an entertained face.
I'm
not
very entertained.
No, it was the only reason that Arthur would think no was because somebody has the ability to control people. Hypothetically. Because we did prove that it was a little bit of yes and no with what's her name taking the orb. That was more for our viewership knowing where I'm coming from. Now it's back into it. I don't think so. But let's not tell him where we are. So just we escape the city, make sure you're alive.
I don't think it should come from us.
Like a telegram. There's a telegram here from Char and Sam. Are you okay? We escape city.
I mean,
Stop.
The tone and everything else should come from someone else.
Everybody turns to look at Toslane.
Well, I was going to look at Raif, but yeah, sure.
She's like, whoa, why is everybody looking at me?
I think it might make sense for it to come from the perspective of a leader to a leader. I think the point of the message is to see if he's alive and if so, is he safe? And to offer asylum if need be.
All right. Certainly I can get this message sent presently. And she writes out a quick note. She hands it to one of her guards and just says, take this to the mages, have one of them send it to Mr. Turiel from Anenfel. They should be familiar enough. And they're just like, all right, and they leave. We should get information back presently from that. Anything else you need? How long will you be staying here?
Another night or two at the
most. Not long.
Can you tell me, do you know if your doctors have any sort of tonic to help with sleeping?
I'm sure that there's something that they could give. Is it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll figure that out for you.
I mean, I can go visit them.
Oh. All right, yeah. You know what? I'll give you a requisition and you can just take it and they'll give you what they have and hopefully it'll be something that can help you.
Okay.
Okay. Anything that you need, Char?
I don't think so. Not this time. But
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I would ask you where you're planning to go next, but it's probably best that I don't know.
Would it be possible to take the carriage that was left by Headmistress Ristos and the horses?
Honestly, I don't see why not.
As we travel?
Yeah. Are you planning to take her with you?
I'm leaning towards yes, but I haven't ultimately decided yet. I was actually wondering if you had a preference for that.
I'm going to be honest with you, dear. I don't know how transporting her in her current condition will be. She seemed to have a good reaction to you, so it's not that. It's just, I mean, we can't help her here. So if you know someone who could help her, then by all means, I trust you to do what you think is necessary. Of course, I mean, she's safe here as well if you have things you need to take care of. So what I'm saying is it's up to you.
Okay. I'm gonna had a thought, and I'm gonna look at Char, and just keep looking at Char.
She's looking between the two of you.
Not like.
I know.
I mean, like.
We'll let you know before we leave.
Okay. Yes. Just let me know.
Thank you.
Of course.
Are we waiting for the message back?
I would assume so. The library's in this building, correct?
It is.
Can we spend a few? We can wait in the library
as long as you want. Take your time. We'll say for the sake of brevity, though. Plus, I'm going to end this episode very shortly. As you get into the library, you immediately are given the information from the message, and you see that the mage actually comes and delivers the information to Toslane themselves, and they lean forward and they whisper, and Toslane just sort of closes her eyes and shakes her head. There was no connection made from the spell.
That can only mean two things.
I'm sorry I didn't have better news for you.
Yeah. All right, so we go. I'm just going to ask because I don't know how to start this conversation, and I don't really like having to ask for this, but do you think there's anything, and I'm going to like glance pointedly at your pendant, that can be done?
And he's going to see if the library's empty at that point.
Yeah, there's nobody else in here.
I think she said she wanted to talk to you.
To me, like I'm taken aback.
And he kind of closes the door to the library with all three of them in. And if you want to cut the episode there, you can.
Yeah, I think that is where we're going to cut this episode. That's a fun little cliffhanger. Sorry to make it sad again, guys. The end.
Bye.
And now a promo for Into the Dungeon. You can find them at i2td.com. That's td.com.
Are you struggling to schedule game nights, or worse yet, having them cancel at the last minute, turning your tears of joy into tears of despair?
Yes.
Well then, happy Tuesday! My name's Nick.
And my name is Alan, and we are
Into the Dungeon,
a duet-style actual play TTRPG podcast with one GM and one player. Don't let anybody tell you that size matters.
Oh no.
And come, give us a listen to see how much fun a TTRPG can be with just 2 people.
We release a new episode every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central European Time. Make sure to visit us at www.i2td.com. That's the digit 2.
Until then, farewell, and hope to see you again as we delve into the dungeon.
Intro music by Isaac Vyers. Character designs by Cam Gonzalez. Produced by Leah Hemrick. Graphics designer Jen Kearney. And audio engineer Arthur Polino.